What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Redcat Live. We're back at it again, having a good time. I'm actually still kind of working on something at the same time, so bear with me 1 second here. Let me see here. Screen share. We'll go back here. Awesome. Okay, I'm ready for that. But what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Redcat Live. We're back at it again here at the facility. And I'm sorry, I am rambling right now, and I am trying to collect my thoughts because I am late, and I do apologize for that, but I'm here nonetheless, and we got another show lined up for you guys. So first of all, let's say what's up to some of the folks that are already hanging out in the chat. First and foremost, we got Mr. Francisco Garcia hanging out with us, representing the 209. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. RC East in the house. Appreciate you as always, man, hanging out with us once again. I'm waiting for those wheels, bro. I'm waiting to check out what you got going on in that brain of yours, man. I'm ready to see the creativity, brother, and I love the content, so keep it coming. We got, of course, Mr. Chris Stanley, representing Stockton, California, near my home-based area, my hometown. We got Mr. Nash Smith. What's going on with you, man? Appreciate you as always. And of course, it wouldn't be a show if we didn't have the one and only Mr. Ricky Weeble. What's going on, Ricky, man? Appreciate you as always, bro. Thanks for hanging out with us. But guys, check it out. There's some cool stuff happening in the horizon that I want to make sure that we kind of bring up to date, right? So for the last couple of weeks, I've been working on this build that you guys see here, which is just a Caprice Classic that we offer. It was something that came right out of the box, and we just kind of did some upgrades and modifications to it over the course of the last couple of weeks in preparation for this week's upcoming Arizona Lowrider Super Show. The event is going to go down Saturday, February 28th, 2026. The event's going to have a multitude of classes. This is going to be one of the first times that we're going to have quite a bit of things going on. There's going to be things like, we have a car show. So there's going to be a show and shine happening. There's going to be a RC drift pit. There's going to be a boulevard to cruise, a scale town set up by Mr. Cory Clark himself. A lot of awesome sponsors. Of course, we're going to have Skunks Hobbies there representing. Block Boys is going to be holding it down, big and tall. We got Monster Graphics, Straight Up RC. Of course, we got Work Hard Unlimited, RC Hop Shop, and I know there's one more that I can't read right now. It's on my head because I'm not wearing my contacts today. It is what it is. But first and foremost, shout out to every single person that's going to make this event happen, because for the first time in a long time, we're going to have all kinds of RCs in one location at a RC Lowrider event. So thank you so much to the entire folks over at that are hosting the Arizona Super Show, allowing these folks an opportunity to bring in any and all RC related products. So we're going to have crawlers, bashers, drift cars, lowriders, and anything in between that you can imagine. And I think that's kind of awesome to be really inclusive to the hobby in general, especially when you're used to seeing something that's only lowrider related. So this weekend is going to go down. We will be there as well with a booth set up. But before that happens, there's something that you guys should also know about. If you're into the crawler scene and you're anywhere near this area, you're going to want to check out Twisted Crawlerz. RC is going to have something called Nerd RC is hosting something called Micro Massiv. It's let me see here. Micro Massiv is going to be, it's a gate challenge, right? And of course, it's going to be hosted by 323 RC and Milk TRC as well. And the competition is going to start at 3 p.m. and it's going to be going down at Twisted Crawlerz out in Mesa. So I did put the address and location in the description of this video. This event is going to pop off Friday, February 27th, 7303 South Hawes Road in Mesa, Arizona. Really awesome event. They're going to have a class 1, class 2, class 3, and an open nano class. RC MCCA rules are going to apply to the classes 1 through 3. And if you want more information, head on over to https rcmcca.org for more information. Cost for this event is going to be $30 per day to be there all day long and to crawl. If you want to participate in any specific class, it's going to be $10 to enter your first class and $5 for any additional classes. So Lunchbox Crawlers, Milk TRC, Redcat Racing, of course. We got Nerd RC, LGRP, the Stainless Series, 323 RC as well, Work Hard RC, Mofo RC Crawling, Enlighten RC. So a lot of awesome folks are going to be there representing this event, and I can't wait to see what kind of content comes back of this. I know Shane and Aaron of our own engineers are going to be there as well, having a good time, and I do believe there's going to be a small booth set up as well. So head on over, check it out. 3 p.m. is when all of the fun starts. If you want to register, we do recommend that you register online at Twisted Crawlerz. That's TWIZTEDKRAWLRERS.com, so that you guys can sign up ahead of time. So there it is, guys. Those are the events happening right out of the gate. Now, of course, this is Friday, and then we're going to have the Arizona Super Show on Saturday. So a lot of folks that are going to be at one event on Friday, they're going to go to this event. And of course, if you want to maintain that same atmosphere, you're going to want to check out the after show. And the after show is going to go down at, let's see if I can bring this up a little bit bigger here. There we go. February 28th, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., 7107 North 57th Avenue in Glendale, Arizona. RC Boulevard is going to be hosted by Boulevard Surge, and it's going to be, they're going to have food trucks, vendors, awards for lowriders. Car registration is $25 per, motorcycle is $15, and of course the RC Boulevard scene will be there as well. So check it out. It's going to be the Glendale Super Show Aftermath, RC Boulevard. So big shout out to Boulevard Surge for hosting this sector of the hobby. It's going to be a big weekend for Arizona. So kind of like the one and done weekend that we have here, but a lot of mini events happening throughout the rest of the month, especially going into March. Later on in March, of course, there's going to be the Invitational Tattoo Expo, kind of a big event with a with a lowrider car show in play with an RC scene as well. Again, Boulevard Surge will be out there setting up a street scene for everyone to be able to enjoy. This is going to go down on the March 20th through the 22nd at Renaissance Hotel at Westgate in Glendale, Arizona. So a lot of cool stuff happening still ahead here in Arizona. If you have an event that's happening in your neck of the woods that you'd like us to give a shout out to, please send those over to support@redcatracing.com, and I'll be happy to bring them up to date so that you guys can check it out. All right, guys, with that said, the last details that I did to this car to have it ready for the Arizona Super Show, right? We've been doing some things to it. We cut up the chassis to make room for these big 26ers to be able to lay this bad boy out as low as possible. In fact, let me change camera angles here and show you guys what I mean. In RC East, I did take your suggestion, and I did, in fact, cut up the front of the chassis itself so that we can make more room for the actual front. So now we can actually get full lock. I also modified the wheels a little bit more. I know that I did something that I shared with you guys before. I actually changed it up again. And this time what I did is I still took our 26ers and I shaved the face of the wheel to get rid of the lip. And I went ahead and glued them to the actual barrels on the inside. And then I went ahead with a small drill bit and drilled each individual holes that were already there going into the plastic so that I can use some scale hardware on the inside, just to give you guys an idea. It gives me even more of a deep dish look and feel than the other setup that I had originally. And it adds the extra set of spokes, which gives the wheel more rigidity as well. The front is the standard 26er style with the standard deep dish that we offer out of the box. But yeah, that gives you at least another idea to use there as well. So I don't know if anyone's done that before, but I just was looking at the wheel and I said, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to, try to cover up those existing holes. And the only way to do that was to use some scale hardware from Locked Up RC. So that now we have a kind of a different vibe. Now, after doing this width of a setup, let me change angles here. So because I went with this width of a setup, it actually made the rear wheels stick out a little bit further. And so what I had Shane 3D print me some hexes that were, I believe, 3.5 millimeter wide as opposed to the 5 millimeter rear hexes, so that I can still get that rear tire to tuck in the back there. So I still have that tuck that we wanted in the back, allowing us that opportunity to keep that wheel in the wheel well. You can see it's a hella flush fitment. And of course, it's even at its lowest point, ride height, the car does still actually operate. So we can still drive the car forward and backwards. On the show last week, we also installed a LED light kit to the car that we offer here at Redcat. The one that we offer is available on our website. If you want information on how to do that, check out last week's episode where I went over how to install the actual light kit on the car. Again, nothing super crazy on this car. I just wanted to do something to have out there on display using kind of what we already have at our disposal, maybe a couple extra creative things like the wheels, and of course the audio that I installed in the back as well with 4-scale 12-inch subwoofers in the back, and they do operate. I do need to work on mounting this box a little bit better, which I'll work on in the next couple of days in preparation for the event. Yeah, I believe we're about as done as we're going to get for this show. And there is the final product for just being able to have a car out there to cruise. On the chassis itself, obviously we had to cut it up, and I do still need to do some filing and sanding to clean up these edges. So don't judge me, please. Okay. But nonetheless, we did cut up the rear of the chassis, which you guys can see right there, so that we can make room for those wheels to be able to tuck them in past the actual wheel wells. And of course, thanks to RC East for the idea, we went ahead and cut open and removed the front wheel wells as well. This gives us an opportunity to do full lockup and not rub anywhere while the vehicle is driving. Obviously, I did also replace the motor with a brushless 2-in-1 setup that is out of it's a Hobby Wing Fusion setup. It's actually one of our protos that we used to play with back in the day. I do know that they do now offer a commercial, or not commercial, but a consumer version as well to use. Mini Bluetooth amp sits right here on top of the receiver, which I will mount a little bit better, a little bit straighter. But again, this car is not going to be a hopper. It's not going to be a dancer. It's just going to be a car that when I'm ready, I will just cruise around as low as I want, or maybe just raise it up a little bit if I wanted to, or raise the front up a little bit if I wanted to. So it's intended to just be a cruising car with audio in the back, and just, you know, be able to enjoy the vibe with people and cruise the boulevard that these guys have set up out there. Let's see here. Robert, yeah, dude, I agree that the deep dish look would look really cool on the COE as well. So, and again, I mean, a lot of the guys that have been doing this type of setup, you only use the front of the spokes or the back of the spokes, which gives it a really nice deep dish. But again, it makes the wheel really wobbly and it loses rigidity. So to give you guys an idea, what I did was I glued the actual wheels, the spoked sections, to the actual barrels themselves. Let's see where to focus. You got to be careful too when using specific glues, because some of these crazy glues and CA glues dry really hot, and they will leave a lot of marring and stuff. But because I, ended up sanding the face of the wheel itself, the lip, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's see if I can find one of these other wheels here. Let's see, here we go. So in essence, the spoked wheel itself, on the front of it, the part that sits in the very front, in fact, you can see it right here, it has a lip to it right here. Oops, where is it? Right there. It has a lip to it. So I needed to make sure that we sanded that lip flat so that when it's put into this area on the back side, that it actually has a flat surface to be able to glue to. I did also take my Dremel and kind of sanded down that inner as well to get a good adhesion, to promote good adhesion for it. Once I did that, I went ahead and installed the rear section of the spokes. and I just went ahead and glued that to the actual, barrel and the existing spokes that I already had installed. And then to give it the last touches, as I mentioned, we went ahead and used some scale hardware from Locked Up RC, and just use the existing holes that you would find. You guys can see there. Just use those existing holes, and I just used some scale hardware from Locked Up RC, and that actually helped bring the chrome pieces together, kind of like sandwiching them. And now I feel more comfortable driving around and feeling like I'm not going to have a failed wheel that falls off, so to speak, right? So E6000s per foot. Okay, thanks for that, RC. Appreciate that, bro. But let me see if I can get a bit of a better close up. There you go. You guys can see the scale hardware as well. And again, when you guys are using scale hardware from Locked Up RC, a lot of the times, keep in mind, you are going to have to use their tool set to be able to put that on there. I wish I had gold, and I didn't have any gold. If I could get my hands on it, trust me, I would have used gold. The only stuff that I had, and I have a pretty robust kit that I bring with me when I do these things. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm kind of a hardware nerd. This is just my travel kit that I bring to events and shows and anywhere in between. And inside of here, in my toolkit, I always bring my Locked Up RC drivers, and these are reverse hexes, which you guys can see there, so that you can use these. Let me see if it'll. And you can use these reverse drivers to actually put them in place, right? So for a lot of you guys that may not be in the RC crawler scene, we use a lot of scale hardware, and I have quite a bit of scale hardware by size that I just buy a lot of that I have not used, but I thought I would use at some point. But I like having hardware because I hate to not need it. But yeah, had I been able to have a little more time, I definitely would have used gold. What I did have was I had those zinc plated ones, so at least I used that. So RCEs, don't judge me, bro, but at least I used the zinc colored ones to give it a little bit of contrast. But you're right. The gold ones that I did try, I didn't have enough of, and they were regular hexes, and I didn't want to use 1.5 millimeter hexes on these wheels. I felt like the scale hardware was going to be a little bit, better looking than using an Allen wrench or a 1.5 driver where you have that hole. So, kind of take and give where you can, if that makes sense. But yeah, if I had the gold, I definitely would have used it. So there it is. That is this car. And again, as I mentioned, thanks to Shane, he 3D printed me some hexes that were narrower, allowing me to tuck the wheels in just a little bit more. The rear axle, in a couple episodes ago, we did put on a Monte Carlo rear axle to narrow the track width a little bit more to be able to fit those wheels in there. The combination of that and these 3.5 millimeter hexes with hexes were perfect for this combo that you guys see here. So that'll be used this weekend. This was not built to be a shelf queen. This was built to drive around and to cruise and make some memories at the same time. So final product, let's see, looks like so. Let me see. I can't remember that it's reversed. Let me change angles here. There we go. Nice little mean looking stance when the car just is sitting there. So, man, thank you guys. So yeah, we'll keep it going. And again, as the car sits on its lowered ride height, we still have rolling forward and backwards, no rubbing. And thanks to RC East for the recommendation, I can turn the car and there's nothing touching, nothing rubbing, no issues there. So again, huge shout out to the community for helping me on this build. It definitely is not a one person situation. I learned a lot from you guys in that same sense, and what better way to learn than to have some of the great folks out there always giving me pointers, and vice versa, sharing the wealth with those folks that are here watching each and every week. So that's ready. You guys now know what events are happening, what's going on here locally, and we can go from there. And I'll show you guys one other thing that is coming really close on the horizon. Timothy Bentley, I don't know if you missed it, but I am using a Monte Carlo rear axle on this vehicle. So it is the stock Monte axle in the rear. It has a narrower track width, and instead of using the standard hexes, which I believe I already put over there, that come on the rear of the LRH 285 chassis, I ended up having some, because I didn't have a chance to wait for Amazon or even find some that were that small. We ended up 3D printing some 3.5 millimeter wide hexes for the rear, and that allowed me to again get that tuck just enough. All right, guys. So for my crawler fans out there, now I will say this: I do want the front end to sit a little bit lower, which I'm working on, and I'm hoping that by the time Saturday comes, I can actually have it sitting like that, but just high enough so that it doesn't rub the body. But I want to be able to just kind of, a little airbag action. All right. So next thing is for a lot of you guys that may not have been watching. Let me turn this camera off here, or may not be following our Vertex page. The owner had leaked something to let everyone know that something, I wouldn't say super new, but something in a new variant is coming out here very, very soon. What we are doing right now is we're going to be dropping here. We're maybe in the next couple weeks, a new variant color of the Vertex 6. I know it's a bummer because a lot of you folks out there love the blue, and the colors that we decided to start offering are kind of their own color palette as well. I like them. They're pretty cool. I'm going to show you guys what the color is. The first color that we're going to be dropping is going to be this orange color, and it does have a bit of like a pearlescent metallic shine to it. It pops really well in the sun. This will be not replacing the blue at the moment because we still have the blues in stock, but we decided to kind of carry on the process of continuing to make some other colors for folks. So the Vertex 6, hopefully in the next coming weeks, you guys are going to see us start offering them on our website, and they're going to come in this orange variant as well as this very dark gray charcoal color variant as well. And hopefully you guys can actually see the color. There it is. The blue has been very popular, Eric. I agree with you. So, but just so you guys know, the new Vertex, there's not going to be any changes to the Vertex itself. Everything on it will stay exactly as it is as far as the functionality, the mechanics of the vehicle itself. But we're just going to start offering it in 2 other variant colors, which look like this. Now, stickered up, it does look really cool and different. And I'm going to show you guys, because I don't have one here yet. I'm waiting for the truck to arrive so that we can start getting those inspected. But I'm going to show you guys the rendering of what they're going to look like here. And this is what the orange one looks like. And it gives you guys at least a good idea of what totally what it looks like, as well as even give you an idea of what a 18 scale looks like, which would be the green one on the side there, a 110 scale Ascent, and obviously the Vertex 6 right next to that. So once it's stickered up, it does kind of have a really nice look to it. And for those of you guys that know that color combo livery right there, it's very synonymous to I think like in its own way an homage to Iron Man Stewart in a way, except it doesn't have the white in there, but it kind of is a good vibe in my opinion. So we're going to be offering it in that color, and I believe there's the charcoal color with the stickers on it as well to give you guys an idea. So keep an eye out for these guys. These will be available, I'm assuming, in the next coming weeks. No new wheel color, unfortunately. Mark Tulloch, will be the same black color, but they did change the color of the sticker as well on the wheel itself. So at least we're getting 2 new colors. I mean, it's something. Everything else is going to stay the exact same, guys. The same servo, same electronics, same chassis. No changes, running changes to that. But we are going to start offering it in this variant that you guys see here with the charcoal color and then the orange color as well. So there it is. Not a lot more to really cover on today's episode, guys. Keep an eye out for the Vertex 6s coming out here pretty soon, or at least a new color variant. I'm excited to see, at least another color out there available. If you are anywhere near the area and want to come out, check us out. We'll be at both the Twisted Crawlerz this Friday. Shane and Aaron will be there competing and having a fun time with everyone in the micro crawler comp that I mentioned earlier in this episode. It's called Micro Massiv Gate Challenge. So big shout out to everyone that's hosting this and is being a part of this. It should be a good time. It starts 3 p.m. Friday. Then after that, Saturday, if you're still in town, you guys can come on out and hang out with us at the Arizona Super Show. And that event will go down. I believe it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Nice long day of lowriders and RC fun as well. We'll have our own RC scene set up by Mr. Cory Clark, Skunks Hobbies, Work Hard RC, and Straight Up RC, and anyone else that's involved out there. If I missed the name, I do apologize. But all of you guys are amazing for putting this together. So we look forward to seeing you guys there. And then, of course, if you guys still want to continue on the fun, there's the Glendale Super Show Aftermath, RC Boulevard set up by Boulevard Surge. That'll go down the 28th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. So that'll be following the Lowrider Super Show as well. Whew, that's a lot, right? A lot to say in one quick show. Not much more to say, I don't think. Eric, yes, the bodies, are you talking about for these, for the Vertexes? Yes. These bodies will be available to buy separately if you want these specifically. We do also offer them in clear. I want to say, I believe the painted versions will be somewhere in the $65 to $70 range. And if you want the clear versions, I believe they're about $50. So once they become available, they'll be on our website. Just keep an eye out for those as well. Jesse Macias has been living under a rock and doesn't know what's going on. Jesse, did you buy one? Because there should have been an email that you should have been sent out if you were a part of it. The Founders Edition truck should be arriving sometime early to mid-May. And once we do our final inspection, we hope to have those out. The Founders specifically, because only the Founders purchase them, they will have them in their hands, hopefully no later than end of May, maybe no later than early June. So the team is headed out mid-March. So it'll be Aaron, the owner, and Jacob will be flying out to our factories mid this next month coming up, and they'll be out there for a few weeks doing a lot of the endpoint adjustments and training the people to make sure those are being done. The product itself is already being assembled in different stages. So the bed dancer mini truck will be assembled in the cabs. The bodies are being assembled and painted right now. Parts of the chassis are being assembled so that when they arrive there, they're just assembling the last bits and pieces and making fine-tuning adjustments to the endpoints, because it is really intricate setup. I do have one here that I can share with you guys to show you what I mean. Obviously, we're going to have a multitude of servos. So you're going to have let me change screens here. Because of the complexity of this vehicle and the variety of servos that we're going to be dealing with, we have 2 servos here and here that drive these cables that help lift and lower everything. So you have 1, 2, then you have a steering servo that sits in the front. Nothing too crazy with setting endpoints there, but then you have the other 2 servos that sit there, and there's one there as well. So Obviously, all of those servos, each one has its purpose. And because of it, that means that there's fine tuning and adjustment that has to be done. And of course, thanks to Jacob for spending a lot of time out there. He'll be working with them to make sure that they fine tune it, because once this is done and out to the founders, then we can start working on the standard non-founders edition. We want to make sure that that team at the factory is ready to rock and roll for you guys moving forward as well. Okay. Hopefully I answered that question. All right, guys. Well, you guys now know what's going on out there. Let's see here. No other comment that I see. So with that said, guys, if you guys, as I mentioned earlier, are anywhere out here in Arizona, hang on out with us. Check us out at the Arizona Super Show. Head on out to Micro Massiv at Twisted Crawlerz Friday, 3 p.m. Some of our guys will be out there as well, having a good time. And then, of course, the fun continues on into Sunday with the Glendale after show, Super Show after show with the RC Boulevard scene set up. We hope you guys have a great and amazing week ahead. I'm going to get ready and get my gear all tuned up and ready to go for this weekend of fun. I hope you guys have a great time yourselves. Keep the rubber side down, whether you're out there crawling, bashing, drifting, or playing with your lowriders. Make sure you guys keep it fun out there. Make some smiles, make some memories, and make sure that we include our littles anywhere possible, because they are the next generation of RCers out there. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.